back-to-back O'Reilly Auto Parts 250 presented on Speed by World of Warcraft. Again, the most recent caution coming when Terry Cook cut a tire and gets into the turn 2 wall. So that brought out the 8th caution of the race. We've had a competition caution earlier today on lap 86. This most recent caution came out at 102, and we've completed 103 laps coming up on lap 104.
Hey, that 51 truck right there, that's one I want to think about. That's Brian Eichler. Remember his first ever start, this 23-year-old from California, doing a terrific job. And this is the same truck, obviously, that Kyle Busch typically drives. You can see right there his high of second, currently running third right now, doing a great job. Adam, what's going on with that team?
I would say mature beyond his years is the best way to describe Brian Eichler. And being around him in the garage this weekend, he has handled himself very well given the circumstances, filling in for the guy who was the point leader entering the weekend. He's got Tom Busch, Kyle's dad, on the spotter stand, and his feedback about what this truck is doing and where they need to go has been very good. He's matched with an outstanding veteran crew chief in Doug George. I would say an easy A- on his debut in the Truck Series. Your thoughts, Phil?
I'm telling you, he's doing a terrific job. A lot of talent there, Adam. You can see right here, this is the 51 truck. Left side, this is with Kyle Busch. 35 starts, 8 wins, 25 top 10 finishes. Without Kyle Busch coming into this race, 15 starts with only 1 top 10 finish. And it sure looks like Brian Eichler is going to make that number 2 this time, maybe even better than a top 10. But a terrific talent. He won 3 races in the Camping World West Series. He has now won 4 races in the Camping World East Series. Going to also do some ARCA Remax races this year. A lot of talent in that young man.
Speaking of talent, Ron Hornaday leading this field, right?
And when he starts on the pole, a lot of times that's bad news for the competition. A year ago, he started on the pole and won this race. This weekend started on the pole, and he's back out front. New sponsorship from Copart, and they wanted to know, should they come in and get fuel? Rick Wren said, absolutely not. We can't make the distance. But, guys, I will tell you, Brian Scott did pit for fuel, and he may be trying to go all the way.
Green flag back in the air, Ron Hornaday, with Colin Brown right behind him.
Brian Eichler holding down that 3rd spot. Mike Skinner 4th. And Johnny Sauter with a good run right now, running 5th.
Chad McCumbee back in 6th. Taylor Mawson is 7th. Johnny Benson, Matt Crafton, and James Bush will round out your top 10. So we've got quite a few in the top 10 that would be first-time winners if they were able to get to victory lane. And that would keep the sweep going for the whole weekend in NASCAR.
That's right. There's 14 right there. Rick Crawford, he changed a carburetor on this most recent caution flag. Lost a lap. Just now trying to stay in position to get the Aaron's lucky dog if we get another caution flag. Nobody can make the distance from here. Everyone will have to stop at least one more time. Here, Matt, pedaling that throttle a little bit. Lost that front end, looked like.
Matt, it seems like takes a little while longer to get up to speed and get competitive. Just not as good on the restarts.
Look at Taylor Mawson going to the high side of Chad McCumbee, trying to take over a spot. That's a battle for the 6th spot. Taylor Mawson has it.
Takes it away and now sets his sights on Johnny Sauter in that Fun Sand 13 Chevrolet.
Taylor's from just around the corner here in Seattle, Washington.
Thank you, Adam. Taylor looking to the inside of that 13. Johnny Sauter not able to take the position. Johnny Benson behind Taylor Mawson now. Now to the outside, Taylor Mawson goes. Looks like Mawson, the man on the move, right?
And the last time they were down on pit road, Rick, they added a little bit of tape to the front of the nose. You know, the temperatures are very cool today, much different than we experienced a few days ago here in Kansas. And Taylor said, boy, that little bit of tape really gave me some nice downforce. I'm able to roll through the center of the corner. He's really liking that 180 race truck right now. That little bit of tape really helped it roll the center. Adam?
And a minute ago, Phil, you said no one can make it from here on fuel, and Jason Miller, the crew chief for David Starr, hopes to prove you wrong. They topped off at lap 103 in hopes of being able to go the distance. They are thinking fuel conservation, and that perhaps the reason why David is not running too aggressive on track. This would certainly be the outside edge of a pit window, but that's the thought process right now, the guys in the 24 pit.
Yeah, that would be a long way, Adam. That would be 64 laps, and most of the guys in the garage area, the crew chief said about 58 is the outside. That's why we set our pit window somewhere between 52 and 57. As you can see, Johnny Benson going by Brian Eichler. Taylor Mawson has already got by Brian Eichler. Taylor Mawson now has moved up to the 4th position.
Taylor Malsom up into the top 5, running 4th. Johnny Benson behind him in 5th. It's still Hornaday out front of Mike Skinner now taking over 2nd from Colin Brown. Colin Brown drops back to 3rd.
You're by 1 on the 16. You're by half on the 16.
And Crawford came onto pit road. They changed the carburetor, so he is a lap down, trying to stay the highest scored truck, not on the lead lap, so he might be able to receive the Aaron's lucky dog at the next caution.
It looks like that has fixed that problem, because Rick, right now you can see him go down the straightaway. He is not having any trouble right now down the straightaway.
Brian Scott right behind him in the 16. Brian Scott running 11th. That higher line seems to be moving just a bit better. Here comes Busher to the inside now. Teammate James Busher going by on the inside. Dennis Setzer in the 8, down on the bottom of the racetrack. David Starr. Oh, and the caution has come out once again. That is Terry Cook once again in the 25. They must have had a rub on that right side to cut a tire once again.
Yeah, they had to. That's probably what put him in the wall on our most recent caution flag. And more than likely, the tire was still rubbing on the right front. Looks like Terry did a little bit more damage to that AutismSpeaks.org Toyota.
Now, Phil, everyone's within they would be within their pit window as far as fuel. They could make it to the end of this race if they would come in and top off with fuel. But David Starr, thinking that he has an advantage, if he stays out and we get another caution, that might be able to extend his length of fuel mileage.
Yeah, I don't think they need to take that chance, though. I think David Starr needs to come down pit road, make sure he has enough fuel to get to the end. If he wants to forego putting tires on, great. But I think now he needs to get to pit road. There's no sense, really trying to push the edge of the envelope when you have an opportunity to come to pit road.
You see the extensive damage to the right side of that 25 AutismSpeaks.org Toyota Tundra.
You can see right there the right front tire goes down. Absolutely nothing a driver can do about that when the right front tire goes like it did on Terry. Terry had finished on the lead lap here the last 7 races, and unfortunately not gonna happen today.
He's running at the end of all 8 races that have been run at this racetrack, and it doesn't look like that streak will continue for Terry Cook.
Great job by Jim Harris and all his folks to put AutismSpeaks.org on that truck right there. It's all about early detection.
Yep.
And that's a website and a source for people to learn about autism and what direction they need to go in.
Autism Awareness Month is April. As we're winding down with this month, Aaron's lucky dog goes to Rick Crawford, so he will be back on the lead lap. That will mean we have 18 trucks on the lead lap, of which Rick Crawford will be 18th when we restart. Who will come down on pit road now? You would think the entire field as they get into their pit window. The first one to make that decision will be Ron Hornaday.
I'll bet you he comes.
The pit road is open, and everyone taking the hard left turn. The field following Ron Hornaday onto pit road. Adam Alexander.
And the first to hit his pit stall down here running in the top 6 is going to be Brian Eichler. We talked about what a nice job he's doing moments ago. Unfortunately, the truck has gone loose. They will fuel it here and also make a chassis adjustment to help the handling. Down to Ray.
Be interesting on this end of pit road to see what goes on. Hornaday says, I need tires down 1/2 pound in the right rear. But Mike Skinner is getting fuel only, but he stalled his truck. Skinner is going to be the first one off of pit road with the 16 following him. But Hornaday getting 4 tires will give up first position on the racetrack. He's going to lose about 7 or 8 spots here, maybe more. Taylor Malsom right behind him in the 81 rolling off right behind Hornaday.
And they can't reach that. They can't go out to get that tire until an official allows them to go get it.
Yeah, that could incur a penalty, though, for whoever's team that was. Depends on what happened to that tire.
How it got out there.
Tough, close situation for the 81 of Taylor Malsom. He started to leave his pit. The 90 of Gabby DiCarlo, who was pitting right in front of him, turned in just as Taylor was about to leave, and he had to slam on the brakes to avoid running into Gabby. Let's see if we can take a look back at what happened to Taylor Malsom. See him now. He's right there, second in line on pit road. Watch the 90 coming, Gabby DiCarlo. Taylor starts to take off, but really heads-up action right there. Avoided that 90 of Gabby DiCarlo.
So the wheel rolls out onto pit road and across pit road. A infraction may be coming for Taylor Malsom. We'll wait to find out from the NASCAR officials. When we come back, we'll line them up.